Right, so as a Gulls fan, we've had a roller coaster week, haven't we, really? And I'll be honest, I'm really peeved with the result from Weston Super Mare last night. I didn't go to the game, so who the hell am I to even comment if I didn't go to the game? And I haven't seen many of the highlights either because I didn't want to watch the highlights. I heard the match on the radio, and I also watched the Aaron Downs interview, which was fair. He was saying the team weren't good enough. He was saying that he was effectively implying that we might need some additional players to strengthen the side. And then I've seen the Gary Johnson press call where Gary he's trying to be positive, but I always think there's a lack of acknowledgement when it goes wrong. For example, implying the ref made the wrong decision, that the handball decision wasn't the right decision. Almost in denial that some of his players are just not good enough because they keep on making the same mistakes again and again. So it's okay saying, for example, let's point them out. It's all right saying Ross Marshall was unlucky. Only so many times that can happen. Then it comes down to effort. Let's have a quick look at the video here of the highlights, a couple of highlights around the last go, the third go that Weston Super Mare scored. Let's quickly do that right now. So here we are. Brad Ash has just missed a chance to get us back on level terms, and here are Weston attacking down the left hand side, 2-1 up, and you're saying to yourself, is Stubbs getting back quick enough? Are we getting tight enough on these players? Weston switched the ball, and here I think this is Lewis Collins. Is he really getting there quick enough? Probably not. And the shot comes in and Halstead palms it away. And then a moment later, exactly the same thing again. Stubbs is now coming back, and here we go. Finally running in number 7. That's Stubbs. And again, Collins not really getting there quick enough. And it's a fantastic goal, let's be honest. What a wonderful strike that is. But was the effort there from the Gulls players? It didn't look like it, did it? It looked to me like they were half-hearted, like they were just giving up, like they just didn't have it in them. Football is about ebbs and flows, and there's times when your team are on top and there's times when they're not on top, and that's just human nature, and that's part of the beauty of football. And that great goal that the Western guy scored, he might never score a goal like that in his life, but he scored one then, and it effectively sealed the game for the Gulls. For Western. But I just think they might even be called the Gulls, I don't know. Anyway, but I just think to myself that Torquay United need to show more at certain times of the game by mitigating the chances the other team have when they're dominant, reducing the amount of times when the other team are on top, reduce that period of time, and then maximise it when we're on top. And there are times when you've got to soak up pressure, but against a team like Western, we'd expect to be the dominant team, and I don't see week in, week out players being able to grab hold of the game. So I see players like, for example, Donlan apparently had a pretty good game the other night, but I see a lot of errors from that kid, but I think he can probably do better. Decisions aren't really great with that lad. You know, he goes back, he sometimes challenges for the ball up the pitch, and he doesn't think about the fact that if he doesn't win that challenge, the team are going to exploit the hole in behind him. So I sometimes think our defenders have to learn how to defend first of all. With Aaron Downs as their coach, you would think they'd be good at that, because I thought he was a quality centre-half, Downs. Some will disagree, but I thought he was absolutely first class. I think our defenders have to learn how to defend and keep things tight. You look at Dean Moxey, he's probably, at the moment, our best player. And he's not our most mobile player, but he knows how to defend. He knows when he's got to do things and when he hasn't got to do things. And I don't think players in the team know how or get that. I also feel that the guys up front, they need to be more clinical and take their chances. When I look at a team and think you could, for example, have Collins on the left, Stubbs on the right, Ash and Jarvis up front, I can see goals happening there. But I think in the middle of the park, we have to get out of the game and show quality on the ball. And I don't see enough of that. I see when we get Lapsley playing a whole lot of huff and puff, but sometimes I think he's just chasing shadows. I absolutely, it makes me frustrated when that guy, for example, he'll give away a free kick, or will give away a free kick, and he'd rather spend his time barking at the ref rather than organising and motivating his team and making us defensively sound for the next play. It's almost like we worry about the last play. We blame the referee. We feel sorry for ourselves for the last play that's happened where it's gone against us. Whereas we should be forward thinking. So Lapsley, to me, should be the guy driving the team, not arguing the ref. Don't do that. I've never seen Lapsley change the referee's mind. Never seen it. Don't suppose he ever has changed the referee's mind, ever. So don't waste your time with it. Get the guys back in, organise them where you want them to be, get on top of the game. The referee's not a concern. He should not be a concern. The concern is, are we the better team than the other team? Are we going to get on top of this? You got other players in there that, I don't know, I just sometimes think is there really that determination of getting, when Kevin Dawson comes back in, that's going to be a massive shot in the arm. You know, that is going to be amazing for us because he's a quality player. But he knows when to give, when to get stuck in, when to hold position. I don't think there's enough quality in our side for that. McGavin has tightened up his game in as far as he doesn't give the ball away now. Ryan Hansen, I think, deserves a chance. Can't see how people can say he's rubbish when we don't see him play. And is he any worse than the guys that are playing? I don't understand why we don't play him at right back on occasion and utilise that long throw. I don't know. The team at the moment just isn't quite good enough. We're not a million miles away. We ended last season really, really well. We had Frank Nublet up front. We, of course, had Nico Lawrence in the centre half, and Kevin Dawson was fit. Those players are massive in that team. Okay, we're missing those three players. Tomlinson strikes me as being a decent, level-headed defender. So I'm going to persevere with that guy. He's going to be a Steve Woods. He's going to be a good player for us if we give him a chance. But Marshall needs to grow up quick. And as my brother would say, he's got to stop thinking he's as good as he thinks he is. He is not as good as he thinks he is. A lot of our players are not as good as they think they are. They're in the National League South. They want to make a decent living. They've got to realise that this isn't good enough for them and it isn't good enough for us. They've got to up the level 2 levels. That's what they've got to do. They've got to show that they're League 2 quality, not National League South. Gary Johnson has got to do something quickly to plug the gaps. It's okay saying we're having difficulty getting strikers. We can't go to strikers. What did he tell us? We're looking at 5 strikers at the moment. We're looking at 2 midfielders or 2 centre-halves. He hasn't got to say names, but give us a perspective on what he's doing. You know, rather than just saying, oh, we're trying and we can't get any. Tell us what you're doing, Gary. And how about saying to your players, why don't you tell us if you've run the right act with them and say, look, guys, you carry on like this, I'll be out of my job as a manager, and that means by default some of you guys will be getting laid off because the new manager won't like all of you like I do. He won't have any loyalty or any connection with you. So a lot of you will be getting the boot. So this is the deal. You either up your game or I'm going to get players in because I want to save my job first of all. And I want the team to do better. So I think Gary Johnson's got to give himself targets and he's got to tell those players what the targets are for winning games and getting points. And if it doesn't happen, if I was him, I'd be saying, right, wallop, 2, 3 of you, 4 of you, you're going to go out on loan. Just get them out. Get them out of our way at the moment. Get 3 or 4 new players in. Give our team a shot in the arm. Show the fans that we're trying to change rather than just saying, it'll come good. There'll be a hiccup. There's a blimp in the road. There's a bump in the road. The referee's making bad decisions. You might have a point, Gary, but do you know something? We need a bit more. We need something tangible which is tell us what you're trying to do and tell us how you're dealing with the players when they're not good enough, because sometimes they ain't. Other than that, we're goals fans, aren't we? We put up with this. There's only so long we can. Catch you guys on Football Schmootball. Flip side. I couldn't have said it better myself.